Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, a guide to fast casual fortunes. I'm Brandon Haught, one of your co-hosts, Joe Collin.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Hey, we're on fire today, guys. We're so excited.
Just
Actually,
having fun, man.
this is going to be an episode that has no outline whatsoever.
Just having fun.
We're going to have fun on this one. But if
Couple
this
bevies.
is your first episode, I encourage you to listen to the other ones. This one's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just going to throw some things out there, guys, and talk about kind of our journey. And I'm sure there's going to be a lesson in something that we say.
We're going to do a backstory on each one of us because as with all of us, we're busy with life. We got kids, we got family, we got business, we got jobs, and sometimes you don't take a time to reflect on what you've been through.
Yeah.
And we've both been through some interesting things. I said to Brandon the other day, Brandon's been on the last 2 years probably the craziest journey. If I'm just watching it, going, man, he's talked to Fortune 500 companies. He's been very close to having deals with major companies that he just don't understand. Like you having that conversation with people, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You're talking to the director of I can't say the name, but
it's that big. It's that big of a name.
it's just weird.
But yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
I mean,
bro, we're on a crazy mission right now that hopefully in 4 months,
We
5
can talk
months, we can
about.
talk about. But so take time, reflect. I mean, life's a journey, and if you don't appreciate what you've been through, if you don't understand that you've had your errors and they're all education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So you want to talk about some mishaps?
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of what I was gonna say too. Is that if we didn't have persistency, we wouldn't be here, guys.
There's so many times
because like I was telling him, like my journey has literally, and I'm gonna do an episode on this, but it's been like, and you kind of use this metaphor, but it's kind of like pushing a boulder up a mountain, and you make it to the top, and then it just rolls back down on you.
Yeah.
Like you're so close to being at that peak, and then everything just comes down.
Yeah, and I it is. I mean, you always feel like you're pushing that boulder, and I guarantee, if you talk to the most successful people out there, they probably have a bigger boulder that they feel like is on a bigger mountain.
Yeah.
So it's building the chops, it's accepting the failures, the mishaps, the setbacks as a part of the journey.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's talk about different things, because I want to learn too from you. Like me and you don't really have these conversations a lot. I guess, what do you think is the biggest mistake that we've made, or biggest gaffe that we've made? What stands out to you?
I don't know if we have enough time.
Right? Are we doing a 15-minute episode?
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit. We showed up at our first event with a trailer with a 24-inch electric grill.
Yeah.
that was one that I don't even think about that now, but in the moment,
yeah,
it was a disaster.
It was a disaster. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
We were for one, we were in the wrong spot.
It was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
Our first event outside of what we normally do, and we were in the wrong spot.
Yeah. We were
completely wrong spot.
Yeah.
The owner of the gas station was like, "Where are you guys?"
Yeah.
We're at an abandoned gas station, and within 10 minutes there was 45 people in line. I'm like, "What is going on right now?" And the grill wouldn't cut it. We left there.
Yeah.
we went and got another.
We went to like Home Depot or something, and we bought a propane grill, which.
In hindsight,
I think we cooked that. I don't know if we try to put the propane grill inside the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, we did. In hindsight, that wouldn't even probably be in our top 20 list of failures.
To be honest with you.
No, yeah. So, I'm really passionate. We, if you guys haven't noticed, this whole podcast, we're trying to be very PG, which is outside of my norm. Anybody that knows me, the F word is a part of my vocabulary, but, I like to do this little thing on our entrepreneur page. It's the food truck mess ups.
Truck ups.
Truck ups.
Truck ups. Yeah, you can figure that out. Truck ups.
Because it's very important to understand it's going to happen.
Yeah,
mistakes, problems. It's a part of the journey. They're the thing that you're going to remember, unfortunately, but they're not necessarily the biggest part of everything.
Yeah. And honestly, guys, like we started this when we're starting to see regulations just tighten down. I mean, it's a whole new level. You're talking fire departments working with health departments, working with, you got to do all these different things. But when we started this business, I don't want to say it was a
It
free
was a
for
Wild
all,
West. Well, when I
but
started, to give you some idea, I started with hot dog stands. My buddy and I were like, "Hey, this it'd be fun to do dog stands." We live in a college town outside the bars, and we had a lot of fun with that. When we're 24 years old and you're selling hot dogs at midnight,
yeah.
you see some wild stuff. We gave away a lot of free hot dogs. I'll put that out there. And it took us. It was like a mind blowing revolution of this town. It took us 2 years to get a rule passed for us to be able to do this.
And you're talking like what, 10 years ago, probably now,
12
right?
years ago.
12
yeah.
years ago. Yeah. Yeah. I'm talking when we started Nom Nom Ninja, because I'm just thinking back to when we had a Blackstone.
No, yeah.
And you remember we literally opened up our back doors and had the propane tank sitting outside. It wasn't mounted. There wasn't no propane lines. We were literally running like a residential grill.
It was a little sketchy.
It was a little sketchy, but at the same time, like, that fell over one time, you know what I mean? And then we had to work around that. It broke the thing. We had to run and go buy new propane tanks. I mean, I felt that was a pretty common thing where we were running out of propane. People were waiting. That was something that would happen kind of often that we had to work around. So what I want to say, like what I've learned from this is be prepared for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if the unexpected is going to,
if it can go wrong, it might
will
go wrong.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a lot of times. We try to dummy proof our systems.
Yeah.
Systems.
That's
the word Brandon probably sick of me hearing me say, but it is all about systems at the end of the day, guys. You want to be able to give somebody a book, say this is how this works. And if you disappear, it can work.
Yeah.
But dummy proof it, because if people can mess it up or if it can go wrong, good chance it will.
And we've literally rented out vehicles that weren't meant for towing.
Man, can we talked about that briefly. So
I know. I don't know if we can get into this one or not.
I mean, I don't think anybody from this corporation will be listening, but we had a van go down. We're like, we're not missing our event the next day. We rented a van that had a basically you couldn't tow with it because they had a block on the tow hitch.
It did.
At 2 a.m, I'm in there with the. That's so sketchy talking about this.
I know, me too, bro.
With a grinder cutting off the block. and hooking up the trailer. So it's probably 2 a.m.
Yeah.
We hook up our trailer.
And we're leaving at like 8 a.m, right?
We pull it out and it has a sensor on the van.
A weight sensor.
Yeah. So every time it goes over the weight limit, it beeps.
Inside the cab.
Every
it's just
2
blaring.
seconds.
Yeah. But we made it to the event.
You know what's funny too? I couldn't tell you how much we did at the event, if it was a good event, waste time. But that experience, in hindsight, it was frustrating. I mean, we probably wrapped up. I mean, just to put this out there, guys, I work 12 hours a day, show up here at night doing this stuff. So, I imagine at this point I'm 20 hours into a day, frustrated, want to punch Brandon. Like, I don't care what tomorrow is. In hindsight, it's a fun experience.
It is.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And that's the thing too, is that if you're going to have a business partner, do it with somebody that you can have a good time with, you guys, because that's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I've actually talked to a couple trucks recently, man, that they've split up because their partners didn't see eye to eye. And that's happened to me in the past. And, I know you've had some similar experiences, but, it's all about having like a good time too. If you can't have a good time with the person that you're doing this with, and trust is a big thing, obviously, but really, there's so many times we get frustrated at each other, but we could have easily like broke our relationship and ended the business right there.
It's funny. We're different, but the same. And I don't think it could happen. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I could never see us going down that path.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we've been through some stuff where you're like, oh, this guy's nuts. I think I had some of my dad's traits throwing wrenches and stuff.
I'm pretty sure.
It's in the moment.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's all good.
So, and you're the one that always telling me to, and we still don't really do it enough, but we need to celebrate, the big things that happen. We need to celebrate 100%. We need to celebrate our accomplishments. We need to celebrate because that's what keeps you going, right?
Yeah, when you're in it, you're just trying to get things done. You're moving forward. It's make this happen, or you don't take the seconds to say, "Hey, man, we did something."
Yeah.
Regardless of what you guys, this is another thing too. Regardless of where you're at, how well you're doing, you did something in business, in any event. even if you're losing money, I don't care. You're doing something unique. We built this business from scratch, man.
We did.
From a freaking Blackstone grill, literally a tent and a Blackstone grill, to coming up with the branding, coming up with taglines or food items, so
yeah, everything was scratch.
yeah. I appreciate that. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's all very cool that you're doing.
Yeah.
I punch a clock 5 days a week. I have complexities, but it's all laid out for me. Somebody figured it out already. I just have to follow their system.
Yeah.
We create our own system. So yeah.
And that's kind of like, and we see the challenges in that, and the challenges of creating your own. And I don't think there's anything better than owning your own business. And at the same time, like, people get out of that rat race, that 9 to 5 to work 9 to 9, but be in control of how much you want to work, where you want to work, and eventually hopefully find that freedom. And that's what we love about this, is that there is systems for everything. And our goal,
systems.
Our goal is
to systems.
Yeah, and our goal is to build systems that other people can capitalize on. Because the fun part of it is the success, is the things you achieve, and you need to laugh at the things that you mess up with, like we do. We have a good friendship, and we're able to do that, and it doesn't ruin anything we have. But how much better would it be if not all we had, but a majority of what we had is success? And if we can shortcut some of that stuff for you guys, that's why this podcast is here, and that's why we're here.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think you got to go through it. You're going to go through it.
Yeah, you are.
There's definitely, some, learn things and pick up stuff and make life a little bit easier. But you're going to have those mistakes.
Well, yeah, and there's mistakes, and there's stupid things you just aren't aware of, or you forget to do. And those are the things I'm like, how sad is it to, like, maybe your fire extinguisher, that's happened to us. Your fire extinguisher wasn't up to date. So that's not
what they're going to say.
No, but your fire extinguisher, like, we were at this big event, and it was expired by like 2 months, and they were going to shut us down. And then fortunately, one of our guys had to run to a nearby fireplace, and then they got it tagged. Like if we weren't there in like 1 hour, we were done at this most expensive event we've ever been to. We had Airbnbs. It was a 4-day. We were this close to being shut down.
I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, we were close.
Brandon, you'd be like, Brandon will tell you this like this. He'll be, bro. Always starts with bro. So you never know what that's. It could be, bro, we got $100,000 check.
Yeah.
Bro, or everything burned down. But Brandon could literally be like, bro, there's a meteor coming towards Earth. We're dying. And he's just like, that's what's happening. Okay.
What should we do with our time?
Yeah. So chill about it.
But yeah.
I'm like, it's going to blow up. We're dying.
Yeah. So, so it's good. It's, if I can help people do that, that's one thing. But, success and continuing to build. I've talked to a lot of guys that this is their livelihood, and they can't experience what we're experiencing. They make good money. Yeah. But they can't experience the growth, and they can't experience buying a brand new and the fun. Yeah. I mean, you get to have a lot of fun because we're not on the trailers all the time.
Well, this could eventually very quickly change, but we're not dependent on this.
Yeah.
That's a very big difference.
It is.
We have other means, but we're not dependent on this, but we get to have fun with it. And we look at every dollar we make as, what can we spend this on?
Yeah,
to help us
exactly,
and grow, right? And have fun with it.
Like, let's put lights on a trailer,
or just buy so much stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Brandon ordered like 5 of these from Japan,
dude,
at $800 a pop.
Hey, it's great work, and I think it was from Thailand, but Yeah, exactly. That's where my marketing mind and my branding does kind of get carried away. I think we spent like $6,000 on our branded paper. I don't know, but we're still using it. So,
I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. It's at the point now, and I don't know if this is good.
I don't know if this is good.
You say something, I go, okay.
Like, it might work.
I don't care about your sales pitch or the different angles.
I think we're batting 50-50.
We get into some stuff. You're like, why are we doing this? I'm like, because you said it. And I went, okay. We probably shouldn't be at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't say no to you much anymore. So.
But since you spilled the beans in the last episode, like,
I kind of did. Maybe people missed it.
I'm going to bring it up now.
Okay.
This is a fun one. People got to listen to it for a reason. Here's a good reason to listen to this. It took us 9 months, but we finally got approved for our sauce to be packaged and retailed.
And again, that journey of
Yeah, what a journey that was.
Going over to my parents' house and mixing up sauces and trying the sauce, and we had one that might as well sprayed acid in your mouth. It was so terrible.
It was.
Submitting it and
what a journey, man. I learned so much about sauce. We bought our own like
pH levels.
Yeah, pH meters. We can do pH now. We can like test our own sauces.
2 years ago, did you think you'd ever be thinking about pH levels?
No, never. And we're talking
calibrating pH meters.
And now we do it like once a month. And so it was really cool. And now we're able to see like the labeling process, the bottling process.
It's such a weird journey to be on.
Yeah.
We're getting label proof sent to us, and we're getting bottlers sent to like and different bottle options. Do you know you can't buy a bottle with a cap together? They're separate. So
it's impossible.
Who knew?
Yeah, exactly.
You want a metal cap or a plastic cap? It's 4380 cap that fits that. Who knew?
Exactly. And but finding that quality that we could be proud of, and building a label we can be proud of. We're talking to retailers right now that may be interested in our products.
It all out there, bro.
Yep. I'm not gonna say who, but we're talking to retailers. So this could be another stage, and this is why it never ends between us, because we're always looking for different revenues that we can continue to build back, or avenues that we can build
back.
Push
that envelope. If you're not a little bit uncomfortable, if you're not in maybe deep waters, you're probably being too safe.
Yeah.
I would say I have a crazy backstory that we'll get into.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to
and it makes me play things a little safe.
Yeah.
Being over $100,000 in debt and feeling like your life's ending.
Yeah.
will maybe change your perspective a little bit, but we played it slow. We built a safety net, so now we can get a little risky. So you got to push the boundaries a little bit. Be responsible.
Yeah.
Don't sink yourself.
100%.
But go into some unfamiliar territory.
Yeah. That's the fun part, right? I mean, that's why we're business owners, right? It was a risk to get this started.
Yeah,
anyways,
100%.
Yeah. Unless you were open to franchise, which could be something cool to do. But unless you open a franchise, like I know some guys that have Kona Ices that they do really well. They got into a system, and that system works really well.
He's way smarter than us.
Yeah.
Golly, we should just copy that guy.
I know. See, right? So yeah, I mean, if you're building things from the ground up, you're building systems.
I don't think we would be successful.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'd be happy.
Yeah, 100%.
We want to have our own creativity,
our
own ideas, our own systems, our own mess ups.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's we're different than a lot of people. A lot of people want to know like turnkey. Like I need to know this is ready to go, and maybe and honestly, if all I had to worry about is the marketing and the fun stuff I like to do now is by myself, and didn't have you to worry to bring me back down to earth and worry about logistics and things like that, franchises wouldn't be a bad model for me if I could focus on the things I love to do. You know what I mean?
That's a large if, bro.
Yeah, that's a large if. Yeah.
Brandon focusing, I don't think has ever been brought up in a conversation.
No.
Shiny things.
Yeah, and so I get into some rabbit holes and stuff, and especially with marketing and what works and doesn't.
Well, also like if you were part of one of those systems, you'd be questioning everything.
Yeah.
You'd be trying to do something different from what they'd be like, hey, no, we told you to do this. You'd be like, well, I want to go over here and try this.
Yeah.
And you don't have that freedom when you're with, like I said, I have a corporate job, and I kind of push those boundaries too myself. And they wrangle you in real quick.
Yeah. No, I get that.
So it's nice having that freedom. You're going to take your chances. You're going to fall on your face. It's what it is.
Yeah.
But
the one thing that I will say is coming from being a business owner, and starting our own business, I have a lot more respect for franchises and things like that, because if we ever decided to franchise, which is
easy,
it could happen. Like I want to make sure that my team, the people that we found success.
How weird do you think Jamie thinks this is right now? One of our girls just showed up to help out a little bit. She's like, what are these guys doing?
But it's consistency.
Yeah.
So like that was the whole thing. Like we've had people ask us, can I start one in I've had somebody at Tennessee, Florida, can I start one in Southern Michigan? And there's things that I wasn't comfortable letting my brand go and be in the hands of someone else. Like
just like when we weren't comfortable having other people work it.
Yeah.
It was like, it's us.
Yeah. It's yeah.
If somebody else, you look in hindsight, it's like, what are they going to do? Like, not enough scoops of food in there?
Yeah. that's why being a franchise, like consistency has to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Franchising is you're a very big obligation to those people that are putting money and trust and investment into you.
Yeah.
You have to have the systems in place. You have to
Yeah.
have they have to have basically a play-by-play, beginning to end, how this thing's going to run, and that's up to you to build it and make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. That's just me going off and knowing that we're 3 units deep, and that you want to grow and you want to grow based on demand, but there is a point where you can grow too fast. And I think we experienced that in 2020,
Yeah,
2021. I think we had 2 or 3 units going, and we didn't even know how to run one right.
Wheels were falling off. And,
yeah. Oh yeah. Wheels, fenders, every piece of the trailer.
We had we had an employee. So like when we have a shop, and we had an employee before we had an electric garage door,
which is the main reason we have an electric garage door now.
It's the only reason. Well, I'm going to go off topic. I always, and this drives Brandon nuts, if something goes wrong, I put it on us.
Yeah.
It was, so I'll tell you the story. We had a guy not open our garage door far enough, pull out, hood system ripped right off the trailer.
Yeah. On the way to an event.
Yeah. And Brandon's irritated. Obviously, I'm irritated too, but I go, it's our fault. Why isn't the garage door open automatically? Why doesn't it go up far enough without them even having to think about it? So as a business owner, if you're pointing fingers at your employees, if they're going, they messed up, you're probably on the wrong path. And that's a very real conversation. You really have to put things back on yourself. Is your system not right? Is there something that could be simplified? Do you have, are they having to overthink or making decisions on things?
Yeah.
You need those things in place.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's the thing is that, I don't know if we should wrap it up. This one's getting longer. But,
no, we're going to keep going.
Okay, let's keep going. But
make it an hour.
One thing you got to think about as a business owner, if you have a business that needs you, if you're the only one that can create this recipe,
you don't own a business, you own a job.
Exactly. Like it has to have you. And that's sometimes I think people dive into that, but they have, like I'm talking to a chef right now and he's amazing. He can cook amazing. I don't think anybody else can do what he does.
Yeah, that's, that is very very real with the business we're in. There's amazing food truckers. They can't step away.
No,
because they're the only ones that can do that. And if you're not willing to teach somebody, take that time and show them how to do this, or if it's so complicated that only you can do it, there can only be one Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
Kobe 100%. Bryant can't teach that to somebody else. There's a lot of other things that go into that.
Yeah.
That's not franchisable. That's not expandable.
Yeah, exactly.
It ends with him.
Yeah.
So you have to make that decision. Maybe that's what you want to be.
Yeah.
Maybe you're okay with it.
You can make a really good living doing it. I know guys that chefs, personal chefs,
yeah,
they make really good money.
Mm-hmm.
But really, you need to think about, and that's something that we thought about, is that we want this to be so simple that anybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worked to our advantage, because at one point we went through 23 workers in 1 year. 23 workers. And because one, there's a shortage of labor. There's a shortage. 2, it wasn't real high quality candidates. 3, I kind of want to give everybody a chance. And and so you're going to run into that. I mean, we had a guy that literally showed up his first day to learn how to cook with a beer in his hand. And he's like, and then the guy that was teaching
probably should have kept him.
The guy that was teaching him was like, bro, you can't.
I mean, anybody that shows up to work drinking is probably an issue.
And ready to cook. Okay, he's ready to cook, dealing with these 400-degree grill, whatever. And the guy's like, you can't be drinking. And then he tells me, and I had to let the guy go. And I'm like, sorry, man, this is not the place to do it. And he's like, oh man, I didn't know you couldn't drink at work. And he's
okay,
like,
hang on. We have a way better story than this.
We do. Yeah. But I'm saying anybody can do it, but that's not always the truth either. But yeah.
We had an employee.
Oh no, here we go. I know exactly where you're going with this.
I wish I could throw a curveball, but
I know.
I get a phone call about 11 o'clock at night that there's an issue at the shop. So I come here, and one of the employees is walking around with a samurai sword. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, well, this is my sword. I'm like, yeah. Why is it here? Take your samurai sword. I get the Nom Nom Ninja name, okay?
Yeah, but right? You take it to a whole new level, bro.
This is out of control.
He was in an argument with another. Is that the time he's in an argument?
Yeah. Well, that was actually 2 different times.
Oh, same guy, though.
Yeah, same guy. But good golly, man. I'm like, why do you have a samurai sword? He goes out to his car, comes back with a samurai sword. And there's really no good reason just to be holding a samurai sword.
Yeah, right.
Hey, here's my sword.
Yeah, and so that's the people we run into, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I got even more. We got more stories, obviously.
I'm glad we can laugh. That could have got.
That could have got. Yeah,
That could have not been a fun story. But,
chopping it up to a whole new level.
boy.
But yeah, those are the things you guys are going to run into with, you know,
Hopefully not that.
maybe not that particular scenario, but you never knew who you're getting, right? And
Not to go Gary V on us again, but he does say hiring's guessing, firing's knowing, and
that's good. I never heard that. That's,
yeah,
that's true.
it's
There's a lot of
very
truth to
true.
that.
And I'm a terrible firing of people.
You are.
You're
horrible.
I asked. I think I asked.
I think he's fired one person
Yeah,
in our
true.
entire and
I
think,
almost hired her back. I think I asked her
during the same call.
I think I asked her if I could hire or if I could fire. Can I fire you? I'm sorry. I feel horrible doing it.
Yeah,
but,
I'm the guy that has to get rid of him usually.
Yeah.
But that was an awesome, dude. You called me, bro. You're like, you were so shocked.
I felt
and
so terrible.
You're like, bro, she had so many good arguments, and she was so mad, and I didn't know if I should still fire her or not. I was like, no, you made the right choice.
I'm far too empathetic
Yeah.
for sure, but
But
for
yeah,
better or worse.
so that there is some pros and cons to expanding your business, and a lot of it is, you know, dealing with people of all different backgrounds.
I have
and
anxiety thinking about that
I
right
bet
now.
you do, bro. I wish I could have been there for that call. I wasn't far. I could. She's yelling at me.
She was a sweetheart too.
She
Good
was.
God,
She was so mad that she was getting fired.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, guys, like so far that's been our journey, you know, and there's
that was the whole journey.
that was it.
Okay.
Like, that's all I remember. I don't know how we
Wow.
got here was kind of a blur, I guess, but
Well, no, I very much remember a lot of the issues.
yeah,
Um,
me too.
but just things down to like we didn't have a dumpster to start off with.
Yeah,
I was taking like
you're right. We did. There's a lot. You're
throwing
right.
20 bags of garbage in the back of an Explorer, taking to the dump. That is stupid stuff you don't think about along the way, you know. So,
Yeah.
Um,
No, I feel that, and you know, like I said, the Blackstone grill. We went from one, like, I don't know why, but we kept buying Blackstone grills. Like, it took a long time to leap to that commercial grill,
the
and like
Blackstone's way.
the black, like, it's, you know, and like the Blackstone could just not keep up, you know,
No.
and so
You would throw food on there and it'd be like,
like no, especially like outside in the door and the wind blowing the pilot out or the flames out. Yeah,
like I don't know what the problem
I
is
don't know,
here.
yeah, you know, we learned from a lot of stupid things, and
We have the Blackstone Grill graveyard right below us.
we do.
We should do a Blackstone Grill giveaway.
We should,
We have
you know, and
plenty of 'em.
but that's something that we were kind of, you know, like inspired by. Is like I actually reached out to Blackstone and said, "Hey, man, we should."
Okay, here's again. This
Yeah.
dude reaches out to Blackstone's like, "Hey, this is our story." The marketing director of Blackstone messaged him like, "Love the story. Be really interested in doing something with you guys." So to normal people, that'd be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
But Brandon's just like, "Yeah, no." The guy messaged me. He said, "What's up?"
yeah, the
Okay.
chief marketing officer at Blackstone. Yeah, I mean, because like guys, we started an entire business off of a residential grill that you have $400 into, and
Yeah.
anybody can do this. You know what I mean? You get a recipe, you get like I don't know if I've said this in a previous podcast, but I give a lot of credit to people that can work with nothing and turn into something amazing. And you know, there's this one girl in Detroit. Maybe I should put her on this podcast because we are going to start interviewing. But
It's so cool to watch. Yeah.
she owns a taco business off of just hot dog carts.
Mm-hmm.
And she's grown. I don't know if she's up to 10 or 8, 12. I don't know. It's a lot. Okay. And she's able to do caterings, and it's so simple. If the simpler, and that's where we didn't get caught up in the beginning. Like we didn't need shiny things at first until we could afford it. We didn't need brand new buses
We
and trailers.
grinded.
We did.
We had some. Oh my god. Okay. We had a van
Oh, jeez.
that was somebody's. This guy that owned it loaded up like it was a 20-passenger van. It was gigantic for ski trips.
Oh, yep.
It was such a hoopty.
It was. Dude.
Oh my god! We opened the
I think
door.
we paid $2,500 for it or something. Or was that the first van? We paid like $2,500 for like one van, and
Yeah.
it lasted us a year.
Yeah,
It was
no,
impressive.
that was a great buy actually.
Yeah.
No, we messed up selling that one. I wish
Oh,
we still
we
had it.
did.
No, the one I'm talking about had like beehives
Oh,
everywhere.
yeah.
You open the door. We should have started selling honey.
We
It
should.
was full of beehives,
Yeah.
but it got us by for a couple weeks.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I would maybe recommend making better investments than that. But
I mean, but we
That's
worked
our
with what we
journey.
had. Here's the
Yeah.
thing: that's what we could afford.
you know what's funny is we've recently had to have a conversation or put out what our investment in this was.
It was hard to do at first because
I don't know if we each individually invested. I had a bunch of crap laying around.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
that for sure. I might be a hoarder. What do we have? A 4,500 square foot garage?
How many times did I'd be like, man, I'd love to have this piece of equipment. You're like, oh, I sold that. Like you got rid of a lot of stuff we could have capitalized on for sure.
Yeah, that's
But I'm
probably
glad you kept the key stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The foundations to get us here. But
true. But this warehouse is looking at. There's 9. Those are battery operated
oh yeah,
paper towel dispensers. They're sitting up there. So a bit of a hoarder.
But yeah, if you guys could go back and see how we start, I wish you guys would just go back to our first 10 Facebook posts
We should have
and see how we started.
videoed so much stuff.
Yeah.
We were such a gimmick. Oh my god, such a joke. But to that point, you're probably going to start that way, and don't be
Yeah.
afraid to.
Don't be, I mean, yeah. Like
Yeah.
the thing is like you've heard from our first episode that we started off with a $10 staple sign, but we went to an event.
We should get that, but
We
I
should.
know where it's at.
You do?
Yeah.
We should hang that up, dude. That's vintage.
It is. Ghetto.
And you know what I learned from that? I learned from, if you're in the right place and you have a decent product, it almost doesn't matter, right? Like I think we sold out. I think we were doing, guys, when I say sold out, okay, so use that loosely. I think we were doing $1,300 to $1,500 though. Our first events
Weird.
out of a tent up to we done up to $2 to $3 grand, yeah.
That we like,
But consistently we were doing $1,500, and that was with $7 price points, $8 price
oh,
points.
you're right.
Yeah.
Doobie. What were the concerts? It was like a stoner
It
concert,
was.
and we made we're out of food.
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
After the first
It might have been
intermission,
like Snoop Dogg. Yeah, I think it was.
It was like a
Wiz Khalifa.
old
Oh,
school,
no.
like guys. I forget. What it
Oh,
was.
really? Yeah.
But yeah, we're like, holy cow, we're out of food.
Yeah.
Man. We remember we had a chest freezer that we'd take out there on a trailer, offload that. It was a ghetto operation.
Like we would cook the food like an hour in advance. We would wrap it up, roll it, and we put it inside these little styrofoam coolers.
Yeah,
and
like
one would be chicken, one would at first it was just chicken, and then
Yeah.
secondly, one would
Yeah,
be
it
chicken,
was
one would be
just
steak.
chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah, steak came a while later.
yeah, 3 or 4 months later. Yeah,
and it was a 6-inch wraps.
yeah, it was tiny.
Man, but it really goes to get out there and start.
Yeah.
and figure it out.
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
And that's what I want. I want to hear other people's stories too. And it's so cool to like, I don't know if I'm envious, but there's a lot of guys I talk to and they just start off successful. And and at the same time, I don't think I'd ever trade how we started. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I love how we did, but yeah, if you're all in, you make a decent investment up front. You don't need to go through all the crap we went through, but you don't have the story either. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the hot chick. Like, yeah, you're hot, but like, what's your story?
What's your
Yeah,
story?
How many times have you been told no? Like,
Right.
That's not that fun. You don't have a good story to tell when you're old and
Yeah.
haggard. Yeah. The guy always won.
Yeah, I always, right. Because I'm literally talking to 2 different guys, and we bounce some things off each other, and they started off with a brand new unit. They crushed it their first year. They're already up to 3 units in their first like 18 months, 2 years. I can't imagine that growth. Like you have to be prepared for that, right?
Well, yeah, and I bet they're all in.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what you got to choose.
Yeah.
He was trying to talk some guy that he knows out of quitting his job because we've seen
I
how it
was?
goes. Yeah, remember the guy that went over a pizza truck and he's ready to quit his
No,
job?
I told him not to quit his job.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're talking people out of quitting their job.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is, like
He
it's a lot of risk, guys.
He his trailer's being built. He ordered his They're really cool pizza ovens.
Yeah.
We ordered 3 of them.
Wow.
They're coming from the UK.
I can't wait to see that, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pumped for him, man, every day. And I mean, this guy has a very good job. And I kind of put that in perspective. I'm like, you make 150 grand a year.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how many pizzas you're gonna have to sell to make
100%.
that. Yeah, the life or insurance
and that's one thing that we still like don't get super pumped about is like, you know, we look at our gross sales and they're phenomenal, like for us. But then we see the percentages and I'm like, dude, this sucks. Like, you know, our like, so I guess it's standard. Like my accountant woke me up to this, but it's standard to be like in the 10 to 15% profit margins, and restaurants are like 4 to 8.
Yeah, I understand that. Especially, I mean, we're not on the units. We're all labor.
All exactly. Yeah, we got like 30% labor.
Yeah. And we probably throw out a little more money than we should be.
Yeah.
Maybe we're, I don't know, laziness. It used to be I'm fixing everything.
Yeah,
And now we're like, yeah, we'll have somebody fix that.
Yeah. And our guys work such long days that, you know, a lot of times we have someone come in and clean and, you know, we just don't want them to do all the extra stuff too, because they're working 12 to 14-hour days.
But when she does such a better job.
That's true too. When you're just focusing on cleaning. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
that's true.
She knocks it out of the park with that. So
yeah, we spend a lot of extra money, but still at the same time.
But also that could be us cleaning.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't be doing this podcast.
Exactly, right? I'd be down scrubbing, dude.
We have some stuff we need to do too, but
yeah, we do. We got to get to work eventually.
We're having fun.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, that's.
Hey, you asked me what I thought our biggest mistake was. What do you think it was?
You probably touched on it. Well, you know, we talked about this in our first episode, like not doing our due diligence before we hire someone to do our work.
Mm-mm. And
that has screwed us over time and time again. Like, do your due diligence. If you got a guy promising you the world, like I'm just gonna put this out there too, guys. We just bought a beautiful trailer. We got like $60,000 into this thing.
Hey.
And we're looking at it and we're like, did we make a mistake? It's beautiful, but there's just like some things, man, that, you know, we didn't
spend that much money. You want perfection.
Yeah. You should probably go look at it in person first.
There shouldn't be a soffit that's messed up.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be. Yeah. So,
but that's the thing, is that we didn't go look at it in person. We ordered it online. It was delivered to us.
Well, I mean, the trailer's $22,000. It's the extra stuff we put into it. Yeah.
Well, that was because of hood suppression. You're spending $8,000 to $10,000. You know, all of your equipment. You know, so we didn't have any equipment. So, but the trailer, you know, we expect things. You know, and that's the thing, is that I feel like even now we don't do the due diligence. Like, no joke, guys. We bought a blue bus from an auction, right?
Yeah.
We got a good deal on it. But then guess what? We're like $8,000 into it.
Mm-hmm. Brakes. Transmissions.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? We got a brand new transmission. It was a wire that needed to be replaced.
Well, yeah. So let me
$75 wire.
Let me dig into this a little quick. You know, we got the brakes done, we got the glow plugs done. Dude, this thing was ready to rock. All of a sudden, I'm driving and I can't go past 35 miles an hour, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And of course, you take it to a transmission shop, and they're like, "Yeah, you need a transmission."
Yeah, if you're a hammer, everything's a nail.
Yeah. 100%. So okay, whatever. We got a good deal. Let's put a new transmission in it. You know, $4,000 later, it does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, nobody up here will work on commercial stuff. We get it towed all the way down to like Detroit. Okay, so pay that fee. Pay another guy another $1,500 to go through all the wiring. Says, yeah, I changed out some grounds, blah blah blah. I get it brought all the way back up because it needs a module in the transmission that we just had replaced. And so I take it back to the guy and I'm like, you know what? You changed out the transmission. The module's bad. Let's get this fixed. 2 months later, he was going through the wiring and he found it was a loose harness. And all he had to do was actually, and here's the funny thing. I don't even know if you know this. He didn't even change the harness. He just tightened the pins. So literally he just tightened the pins, plugged it in, and problem solved.
So a free fix.
Yeah.
That was like a $6,000 fix.
At least, yeah. And so that's where we also spend a lot of money that probably doesn't need to be spent.
I mean, anybody has some swampland for sale.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have 93 Chevy Cavalier.
Yeah, 100%.
We're probably your guys.
We're in. Yeah.
Yeah, Lord.
As long as it looks like a good deal, we're in.
We've getting so caught up in adventures going to get stuff.
Yeah.
We.
Oh my goodness, dude, that was hilarious.
Which one? So
I know where you're going with it.
Which one? I
guarantee it's the freezer that's sitting underneath us with the bad seal that we drove 6 hours.
We go on this adventure one day. We went and bought a which I loved, which we gave to the guy that flubbed up our
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah, we gave that. Like I said, we took
Got a huge, like a freezer that held ice. Like one of the
ice
big
freezer. Yeah,
that you see at gas stations. That thing was awesome.
it was.
So we go an hour to get that. We go an hour east to get that. Then we go like an hour south to get. Oh, that's still down. Now I think about that. Freezer's in our blue truck. We go to an ice cream shop.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
To get like a little freezer.
Oh my goodness,
that was a piece of junk.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's such a piece of junk. We got some free ice cream though.
We
It was
did.
really good.
It was really
Was
good.
that like a Wausau or something?
I don't remember.
I
bro.
wish
We went to so many different cities.
And then we drove 2 hours north,
East,
like
to
in the
thumb.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like 11 o'clock at night.
It is.
I'm sure we're dying to get a stupid little freezer that we never used.
That had a
once.
bad seal.
Oh,
Yeah. So we probably had as much in gas as we did equipment.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Yeah. So, and then not only that, I'm pulling out of that ice cream shop, and we damaged the trailer.
We borrowed a buddy's trailer and we ripped a piece of
Trim off of
it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What an adventure. Yeah. So saving a buck isn't always
Speaking of
saving a
ruined
buck.
trailers, I always looking at restaurant auctions and had a Meyer auction.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that one down
We
in?
did.
Actually did decent on it, but down in Grand Rapids, and I go down there, and I got a bunch of big equipment, and they have a forklift. The trailer I borrowed had a ramp, and I'm not paying attention to the guy. I look and he's driving
Oh,
a
you're
forklift,
right.
forklift up the ramp. I'm like, bro, don't do that. As I say that, the forklift falls through the ramp
No
of a
way.
trailer I borrowed. I'm just like,
I will.
man.
I will say, man, like your experience is like, I'm kind of like the new guy. I had a food truck business, but you went through the deep stuff with your restaurant, and like you learned a lot, and you've taught me a lot. And one of the things you always told me too is like, like why, there's things that you shouldn't be saving money on because it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
It's going to cost you in the long run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I would have listened to that from the beginning, we could have saved,
dude.
we could have saved a lot of time, but
But
we wouldn't
this
be
is
talking
back-
about it.
This is back to me not saying no enough.
Yeah,
Brandon
exactly.
sees a shiny things like, hey, this is a great deal.
Yeah.
I say no once, and then Brandon's a sales guy. He'll go on like, but
This
what
is
about
why.
he has like somehow he came up with a 9-page analytic report on this. I'm like, yes, just do it. I know. I'm going to read the first 3 words and say, okay.
Okay. And then I'm like, why'd you let me do that? That's the
How many
question I
pieces of
ask.
equipment do we have in here right now?
I know.
There's a freezer in here that I said the same thing. I said no to. Sitting right there, not plugged in.
It's a big freezer too. It's commercial grade. Doesn't work
It's
at all.
commercial grade.
It's a great
For 87.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
for an 87.
When a pizza shop got that in 1975, they loved it.
Hey, it was a great deal.
It was delivered and
Yeah.
everything.
So
Great
great deals have helped us out a lot, and great deals have cost us a lot. We're probably pretty broke even on it though. I mean, we got a great deal on our first and close trailer, and it has done.
That was me.
Yeah, it was. You didn't know what you were buying. Come on.
Complete accident.
Complete accident.
I'm a little bit of also. I was selling some stuff, and I sent a guy to get a trailer. He gets there. He's like, sends me pictures. He's like, guy won't let me in it.
Guy won't let me in
This is
it.
what it is. And I see the hood on. I'm like, that's a
You sent me that.
that's
Yeah.
a food trailer, bro. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, get it. It brings it back, open it. Fully equipped food trailer.
was.
I'm like,
It was like brand new on the inside. How does that happen, bro?
I think that was a divorce situation.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That was like you hear the stories of guys buying Corvettes from
Yeah.
wives that are
Yeah,
divorcing their
100%.
husbands. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might have been what happened.
Yeah. So, moral of that story is, sometimes there's, luck in play with a
Mhm.
lot of these things. And, I'm going to say, all of this hasn't been just hard work. We've been very fortunate and lucky and blessed in some areas that, that we had no control over.
Yeah.
We've made connections with people that by accident,
Mhm.
we've made purchases on things that we didn't know what we were getting into. And, that's part of this story too. And it's cool to see that, you know, like all this stuff revolving, like, and all coming full circle to where we're at,
Yeah.
you know, because there's been a lot of misfortunes. There's been a lot of times we screwed up. There's been a lot of people that screwed us over, but there's been just as many people to help us along the way.
Yeah.
You know,
Man, yeah, that's so true. It's funny. I kind of touched on it in a previous episode, but when I went and talked to Peter, and he's like, "Man, my table tipped over. I was about ready to be done. I got goosebumps. I'm
Yeah.
like, God, dude, this is the first step
I
in your
know.
journey. Like,
Yeah.
I remember this. You know, he will be able to laugh about it at some point, you know, in the near future. And it's like, you're so lucky.
Yeah,
man. You're at the
100%.
beginning. You know, it's so fun.
Yeah.
At the moment you're in it, you don't appreciate it, but you're just frustrated. But those are things you'll look back on, and the experiences you'll have and memories that will be with you forever.
Yeah. 100%, man. And
Yeah.
at least, you know, if you're not making a lot of money, at least you're enjoying your life, you know.
Yeah,
and
100%.
that's a huge thing.
You're having fun along the way.
Yeah,
I
100%.
mean, you can play. I play video games, but
Yeah.
you can only do that so long, man. You got to have some other experiences. So,
And I mean, one thing, dude, and it's going back to your, you know, choosing the right business partner if you're going to go into business with somebody. I don't know how many times you say, I don't know if I would want to do this alone.
I want it, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, you
Yeah.
know, I know you've been, people mention this to you, like you're splitting your money or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sharing my fun.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
yeah. 100%.
yeah, like experiencing the downs
Yeah.
would be so much more difficult without somebody to bounce it off of.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, it'd be the ups would be. You got
Who do you
to
celebrate
with somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some.
And we can't celebrate with our wives. They don't see it.
Don't care. Yeah.
They don't get it. They don't see it.
Yeah.
No
man.
offense, wives. I mean, you're huge support, but
You're-
they don't celebrate our successes
yeah,
like we
no,
do.
They don't care.
Yeah.
It's not their ball of wax. But
Right.
yeah, we have some just wild things in our future, and if I really stop and think about it, it's like, man, if I couldn't celebrate this with you, it would just wouldn't be that fun.
Yeah. 100%. You know, and the good thing about us is we are driven by the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're not driven like you know, a lot of people say we're successful, and it still humbles me when people are like, you have an empire, we want to be like you or whatever.
I
Like,
don't know if I throw empire out there.
I know I don't use those words, but that's what I've literally had like 3 people say that to me. And they're like, well, if you have more than 2 trucks, it's an empire, whatever, you know, whatever your standards are. But the thing is like, we don't do it for any of that. We don't do it for the,
Couldn't care less.
you know, we don't do it for we honestly, the downfall to us is we probably don't even do it for the money. You know what I mean?
Couldn't care less. Yeah, that might be a problem.
And so, you know, that's the thing.
At some point, we should probably start focusing on that. Yeah.
And we can confidently say we've never drawn a salary from this. We definitely haven't gotten rich from this. And, you know, we always, our idea is always to grow this thing to the biggest and best business we can make it. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about it. And that's what we're both driven by. And you got to find a partner that's driven the same way. I know 2 guys that are breaking up right now. They're event organizers. And they're really good friends, and they were always really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
One wants to expand nationwide, and one wants to keep it local. And that right there, just that is driving them so far apart that one's looking to sell his portion because they don't have the same strategy. They don't have the same.
Who do you think is wrong? I know who he thinks, but this.
Yeah, of course you know what I think. So internally, I don't know what their process is in their conversation, but I would want to expand.
Yeah,
you know, like, but what he sees is that they already have. You know, loyal sponsorships. They already have loyal supporters.
the guy that doesn't want to.
Yeah, the guy that doesn't want to.
He's scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he sees everything.
It's just fear, man.
Yeah.
And he sees what he's built
And how much time it's taking.
Yeah, it takes time, and now he's afraid.
Yeah.
You know, he might.
You know, I'm always up for growing. I don't care, man. Let's do something.
If you don't look at it from a money aspect, if you can take that out of the equation, it's very difficult to.
Yeah.
Then you can see those things.
100%.
And I think it's never really been about money.
Yeah. And the thing is with me is, you know, you always come to me and say, you know, like, what if it does, you know, like, okay, what if this doesn't work? And then, you know, my point of view is, yeah, what if it doesn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the sauce thing, like, what if we sink time and money in this and it doesn't work? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
what if it doesn't work?
Yeah. A little bit of egg on your face.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to be disappointed, to be honest, you know? And so,
Yeah.
as long as we're not risking our livelihoods and, getting each other in debt and, making smart decisions. But if we're out money and it's a learning experience and it's something we can say we tried to do but didn't work, I
That's
mean,
I'm big on, people that are influential and have done things in the past. And if you guys want to look this guy up, he's the original influencer, W. Clement Stone, and he had a saying, if there's nothing to lose by trying and a great deal to be gained by accomplishing it, then by all means try.
oh yeah, that's good.
So um, you really have to. Things are going to maybe be uncomfortable and they're going to go wrong, but you're right. You've pushed me into so many uncomfortable territories. But it's you have to look at the upside.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might go wrong. Sure.
Yeah.
It's gone wrong.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And you move on.
Yeah.
You forget that, and it's not a big deal so quickly.
Yeah.
As long as you can't Titanic yourself.
You can't risk your entire business on something.
Right.
It's always got to be a risk you can afford to take.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. So you have to, starting off.
I'll be honest with you though, like I mean, I'm still learning from this, and we still make these mistakes. Like, guys, winter's tough. Winter's tough for us. Our sales go down probably 50%, 60%, maybe more.
Yep.
And so, like, we struggled not this last winter, but the winter before. And we were at the point where, like, I don't know how we're going to pay our bills.
Yep.
Because, like, it was our first real winter outside of COVID, and we didn't realize how drastic those numbers would drop. And during COVID, we were killing it in the winter. Our winters were monstrous, and then so we didn't really budget like we should have. Well, this year, we budget like we should have, but then we bought a truck that we had to do a bunch of cool stuff to. And then we were at the same point. We're like,
we built a trailer.
We built a trailer. Yeah. So we were like, we built a brand new trailer, which we needed. We wanted to grow with. But then I bought a truck and I was like, dude, we need to put a tuner in this thing. It needs to be high performance. We need to do all this stuff. And this thing is still getting worked on at this point.
It's so funny, Brandon.
Yeah.
Like, man, where's all the money gone? Like, what do you mean? we spent $2,000 on signs, $3,000 on turbos.
So
those
are the kind of risks that
Well, it's fun. We have that luxury, but you have to be responsible.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
we could lose this whole thing, and it would be sad, but I don't think it would financially ruin us.
Right.
Yeah,
100%.
I've been in that position before. It's much less fun when you could lose everything and be financially ruined.
Yeah.
But
and I was going through you. I was going with it through you. I was going through it with you on some of that stuff.
Yeah, you were there
at the tail end of it. Like, that's how we got our buses and stuff. You know what I mean? And things like that. So
that wouldn't want to do that
again. Right. What is really cool, bro, and this just kind of popped in my head. This is probably too deep, but like, it's so cool to see that, like, the death of your one business is really like the reincarnation of this business, the Phoenix, bro. From the ashes of that bus, we have a bus that's helping our business now. You know what I mean?
Yep. A concept that quasi came from it. We'll touch on what we're talking about a little bit more in the future, but it is very much inspired by experiences that I had.
Yeah.
That is very true. And it is warming.
And this is a very, like, guys, like, a lot of you might not know about it. We're going to dive into stories, but Joe owned a hibachi brand at one point in time. And to me, I mean, dude, I like looked up to that, and it's like, he's the one that got me into the food trucks. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be like these guys, In
hindsight, we were way ahead of the game.
Yeah, you were.
I mean, we're talking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Had a pretty established.
I mean, the one thing you did is, I mean, you did take risks and you got into a restaurant, which we tell everybody not to do now.
Yeah.
But your trucks were like, dude, like, everybody would see it and be in awe. Like, it was like the first night. It was like in Central Michigan.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen anything like that, dude.
I mean, looking at the pictures now, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, we're doing like Cedar Point.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were recognized.
100%.
and I guess back to don't Titanic your business.
Well, yeah, exactly.
We,
Full circle.
we saw an iceberg and we went right at it.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, no, I mean, it again, learn from it.
Yeah,
And I am probably extremely precautious now, um, maybe to a fault, but you live and learn, and those are experiences that you can draw on now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know we can keep this conversation going, but my ears are starting to hurt from these headphones. Should we? You think we can call it an episode?
What is it? 11:30. Let's go to 1:30.
We're about an hour in, and so if
I say we hit an hour.
we can do that.
We got 5 minutes. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. But I mean, this is definitely an episode, man. You're traveling, you got some time, you don't need to learn anything. You just want to have some, giggles.
I don't remember where this began.
Yeah, me neither. But this is the conversations we need, and I'm glad you guys can be part of it. To be honest with you, I mean, like
this podcast began because Brandon and I have been doing this for 5 years, and we have we just drive and start talking.
Yeah,
like,
and that's when we're inspired.
We don't really have a destination. We're just and I wish we could do it more. It's so enjoyable. But we went, you know what? Maybe we should be recording what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It might be helpful to other people.
100%.
And I would say, what above and beyond, maybe our whole mission, everything we do began literally with the idea of helping people.
Yeah.
I had lost the business.
Yeah.
I was never going to do food again. It was out.
100%.
And Brandon, I had sold a food trailer to before, and he got out of that business a little cleaner than I did.
Yeah, no, for real. He sold me a trailer, and I think I gave you guys some money, and then my repayment was, hey, you want a trailer? And I'm like, dude, yeah, what good is money? I want a trailer, and which I don't even think he knew about. It was so I gave these guys some money, and I'm like, hey, do you want to pay me back? And they're like, we got a trailer. And I'm like, let's do it. But what am I going to sell? You know what I mean? No idea. But I saw what you guys are doing, and it was exciting. And I saw potential, and I saw how fast you guys were growing. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be with these dudes. And so, I bought it, and then I found this could be part of my story too. And then, I found a product to sell, and we ended up expanding. No joke. Like, we had 2 or 3 hot dog carts, and we were doing barbecue out of hot dog carts. We had a truck, trailer.
And you sold that brand. How weird does that think about?
Yeah, that's
you remember that?
So
you
cool,
sold
man.
that brand.
So my wife hand drew the logo, and we had it digitized. And I pieced out the business. Like, somebody in Grand Rapids bought the truck and the trailer. Another guy bought carts and and a guy bought the name. And he's continuing to run that name.
That's very cool.
And
man.
that is one of the most exciting things, that I've ever done. I want to say, even though it's like, I think it's a part-time thing for him. Like, he's starting to grow into full-time. It's just cool to see something that you start to live on. You know what I mean? And bring somebody else success.
I was going to say this earlier, and this is, sorry, way out of it. Another cool thing is we are providing income for people.
Yeah.
Livelihoods. That brings a lot of pressure too.
It does.
People through the winter, again, we're slow, and people kind of depend on us. And we have these talks all the time. It's like, man, these people need money. Like, what can we do? It's a lot of pressure. We probably go out a lot of times just to pay people.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's smart or not business wise, but we care about these people.
Yeah.
We want to help out. So
the good thing is we haven't lost a lot of money on that, though. Like, it's been, we usually break even sometimes. You know what I mean? We know our break even point.
But that's back to this really is not. We're both very unselfish, which I'm so glad I found a partner that is on the same boat.
Me too, man.
Not selfish, not worried about number one first. It's let's take care of all the other and the other things, and we'll probably rise to the top along the way. But
and that's what it's all about, and like I said, relationships. And that's why I love the food business, because food is so it's so cool to think about, like, the most important times in your life. When you gather with your family, think about Thanksgiving. It's all about food. Think about holidays, birthday, like people to gather together around food. It opens people up. It brings memories. You know what I mean?
The tags that we're in. The people like, oh, our family got together and that is so fun. And exciting.
And to be part of that. And so, like, food is so huge because you serve other people. You're part of their biggest events. And then, like, when you eat,
food's a universal language.
It is. That's basically where I'm going to. It is, man. And and just being able to, provide people's needs, but also building these relationships. And I think once you feed somebody, like, they open up to you, and they talk to you, and that's like one of the most giving things you can do is feed people, because it's a necessity. And I just love that we're part of that, and then we're able to, not only that, but with the money that we get, provide financial, benefits to other people too that work for us and have that financial. Like some people, like we may not even provide the most hours because we're really based on jobs. Like we pay people per job basically, but they don't want to go anywhere else. You know what I mean? And
God.
that's huge.
And I don't want them to.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
It's funny. Like, I think now, like, how much more can we get so these people can be busy?
Yeah.
Like I want them to be able to have what they want. Like, we have a guy right now who's like, I need more time. It's like, and we have a conversation. What can we do?
Yeah.
How can we get more business to get this guy more time?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, man. So it's just cool, the whole business and the whole idea. And we swore we'd never get into food, and but really it's brought us together. It's brought our business together. It brings a lot of people together.
Yeah, back to helping people.
Yeah,
we'll go down this path. But we had a meeting at Tim Hortons, and Brandon messaged me one day. We always were into business.
Yeah,
and 100%. We were going to do. We'll go down this path. I'll briefly talk about it. We were going to do credit repair.
Yeah, credit repair. Yep.
Yeah, and with the idea of helping people, and it's kind of cool. We've always had the idea of helping people.
100%.
Yeah.
And and that's where we're going to continue to grow this brand.
That's the idea of our food trucks. It's helping people. That's the idea of this podcast.
Yeah.
The entrepreneur website.
And if we do decide to do the franchise route, I only want to do it if it's going to make people money.
We
make
have
people
that idea
sense.
We want people to have independence, start their own business, make a livelihood, and think about being able to provide that to people.
And the only reason for that is because I've seen too many waste their entire savings, quit their jobs, and then in the first year fail because they didn't have the systems in place. They didn't know what they were getting into.
It's a lot.
It is,
like if we wouldn't do it, I know we wouldn't just because our personalities.
Yeah.
But if we could tell somebody like, hey, make an investment in us, you have something in place, you can go make money instantly.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not excited about the money we'd make from that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm excited about them making.
I know how freaking cool would that be to be like, they're using our system and making a living.
Yeah, 100%.
Makes me want to tear up right now. Golly. And that point, this is our first hour episode. If you stuck with us beginning to end.
You guys are, hey, you know what? If you stuck with us, should we give away
I feel like we should have a giveaway. Instantly what I thought too.
Yeah, we got to, man.
On the fly, can we think of something?
I was thinking apparel, man.
Okay, yeah. How about this? You stuck with us beginning to end. Hashtag something?
Yeah, hashtag food entrepreneur, food fast casual. What do you guys think? Hashtag.
They can't respond to this.
I know. I'm talking to you.
Hashtag ride or die.
Hashtag nom nom.
Okay. Hashtag nom nom.
Yeah. There you go.
And we'll get them. Well, we got to be careful how many.
Yeah. How about the first 20 people?
I don't know if we have that many pieces of apparel.
Well, we could do hats or t-shirts, and we run out. Well, let's say the first 20 people, because I'll get more hats made. I don't care.
No,
I'll get more hats made, people. Let's do it. Hey, they stuck with us for an hour, man. They deserve it.
20.
Yeah, 20. Let's do it. Oops,
you're too excited.
I'm too excited, man. Like I love giving away stuff. That's a problem.
$400 for us. We gave away a PlayStation once. Remember that?
We gave away a PlayStation 5. That 20 hats would be $400.
Yeah,
I don't think about numbers, but
no, you don't.
I don't know if 20 people are going to do it. So
okay, yeah, that 20 would be. We gave. Remember, we gave an employee a PlayStation 5 too. Yeah. It's like, hey, thanks a lot. We got a PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5. That was when they were impossible to get too. That was like $1,000 PlayStation we just got rid of. I know, man. But
okay. So what's the hashtag?
Nom nom.
Pretty basic. Yeah, but nobody else will know. We'll work out the details on getting a hold of you later. But yeah, hashtag nom nom.
On what though? On our podcast.
Oh,
so you got to comment.
Can they do that?
Yeah.
How do they do that?
You just comment. So at the bottom of our podcast, you can write comments and reviews, and you can do things like that.
You're gonna monitor that?
Yeah. And so like
you might have to hit Brandon up.
Hey, no. Listen. Yeah, this is a great idea. So at the bottom of of every podcast, you should say, "What did you think about our podcast?"
Okay.
So right in there, hashtag nom nom.
Okay. Cool. And we'll work out the logistics of getting those to you guys. And
man, we appreciate you guys. Yeah, this is awesome. I love it, guys. And I can't wait to start having guests on and learning more from different guests and start doing interviews.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of good material coming. I think this summer we'll try to get to events and do maybe a little bit of vlogging with events and show you. We have some pretty gnarly stuff coming up this year.
Yeah, we do, guys.
Yeah, it might get real crazy for us. So just take them on the journey.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I want. And, you know, live it, and what you guys can learn, and
there might be some very recognizable brands partnering with us in the future. So
yeah,
cool.
our first fun 1 hour podcast,
yeah,
bro.
it's fun.
Right.
Hey, yeah,
therapy. That's what it was.
Yeah. All right. Hey, guys, cheers.
Mine's gone. But
mine's branded. Look at that.
Oh, there you
No,
go.
I'm not.
Marketing. Better keep that in there.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah, and you can find us on, you know, you already found us, but we're on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube. You can join our entrepreneur group.
Give our truck a shout out too. Where can they find that stuff at?
Yeah, always look at our schedule, guys. You can find our schedule on our website, hibachininja.com, hibachiraps.com. Both of those will work. Our calendar.
Little clever move. So Brandon mentioned the sauce earlier. We didn't really never talk about our website. You might be able to buy the sauce there.
Maybe.
He maybe just did a clever move there.
So
it's marketing mind.
It's marketing mind. Hibachi Ninja. So that's the best place to find us because the calendar's up in advance. Also ways to contact us. But
what's our
social media?
What's our socials?
Social media is at Hibachi Wraps. You can always usually type in Nom Nom Ninja, but at Hibachi Wraps is our handles. And, TikTok too. We're going to find creative ways to get involved in that. So
awesome.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.